let's discuss on the source list. Okay, so what do you mean by source list? List of all the sources. All the sources for the material. Okay, so what do you mean by sources? Sources is nothing but like a vendors list. Okay, so we are preparing the list of all the sources in the one master record. Okay, for the material. So here it's not only a list of the sources, we also looking into that. We also blocking these vendors, and we also fixing the vendor. Okay, so who is my fixed vendor? So he is my regular vendor. So I can put it like a he is my fixed vendor. Okay, so other than that, some other parameters which is like we'll maintain in the source list. Okay, let's see that how we can do this one. What is the transaction code for this source list? ME01. ME01 is the transaction code to maintain the source list. Now let's go to ME01. Maintain source list. So enter your material number. Okay, enter your plan. So for this material and plant combination, okay, what are the vendors you have? So in the society, let's say I have 10 materials. I have 10 vendors for this material. So I will maintain those vendors list here. So you can maintain the vendor from and to dates. Okay. Let's say if suppose he is valid for the 1 year. So every year might be it will be changed, right? So might be we have some bidding process. So we fixing that vendors like this year he is my vendor, regular vendor. Might be next year some other vendor will be changed. So those cases, what could be happened? You can maintain the particular period. Okay. So 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or you can maintain the uh, 9999 also. Okay. So let's say assume that 1000 is my vendor, 1000 is my regular vendor. Okay. Okay, so after you maintaining this stat, the vendors list. Okay, if you have the outline agreement, you can enter the outline agreement. If you have the contract number, you can maintain the contract number. Okay, contract number. Okay, if you don't have any outline agreement or contract number, it's not necessary to maintain. Okay, so that was a further reference purpose. We can maintain in the source list. Okay, and there was a checkboxes is there here. Fixed, blocked. Okay, fixed is nothing but like he is my regular vendor. Okay, out of 10 vendors, one vendor you are maintaining that fixed vendor. So is that mandatory to maintain fixed vendor? Yes, some cases we need to maintain the fixed vendor. Why? Because some if you want to go ahead automatic PO creation. Okay, so the system searching that who is my best vendor. So based on that, that system will automatically select the vendor and it will create the PO in the background. So some cases for creation of the automatic PO we required. Okay. So I will show you that how it will be works. Okay, this fixed vendor and blocked vendor. Okay, for next 1 year, I don't want to use this vendor. He is not supplying properly the products. Okay, so I want to be restrict this vendor to order this one. So you can block that vendor. Okay. So this year I'm just maintaining my vendors. Okay, list of the vendors. Okay, for 1 year I'm just maintaining. Okay, then suppose 1,000 is my vendor and purchasing organization. Okay, and let's say I don't have any outline agreement. Okay, I'm just leaving this one, and he is my fixed vendor. Okay, and there is a planning purpose, right? We have the planning MRP. In the planning level, we want to consider this fixed vendor. Okay, yes, if you want to consider particularly for the scheduling agreements. Okay, so you can mention here, if you select the second two, okay, what will be happen while generating the planning, while generating MRP, the system will consider this MRP, this source list as a source for the creation of the scheduling lines for the agreement. Okay, that we'll discuss later. Okay, but you can point out here why this is very used. It is useful for the when you are generating the planning for scheduling agreement. Okay, now the same case I'm just creating the valid from, and the same case I'm just creating that valid to. Okay, so I'm just maintaining for the 1 year the records. Okay, so let's say I have the ABC vendor. Okay, after you maintaining like that, if it is if you want to block this one, you can block and you can save that. Okay, that was the source list. Okay, this is taking long time. I just want to maintain to 3 to 4. Okay, vendors. So I just want to show you that. Let's see how I can show you that. Okay. I'm just taking that existing vendors, whatever the existing vendors we have from this purchasing organization. Okay. Okay. Now I'm just blocking this vendor. Okay. I don't want to use this vendor. So like we have so many vendors, right? So you can define only scheduling agreement for the scheduling purpose. Okay. So we didn't create an agreement, right? So we should be enter the agreement number here. Okay. We don't have any agreement number, right? We'll discuss later on this topic. Okay. And ABC no record. Okay. Let's see. We can enter something like two. Two is my vendor. Okay, so now we can maintain some other also. Okay, I just blocking this two vendor for my purchasing. Okay, for this material, only for this material I'm talking about. Okay, and I can maintain like multiple vendors we have, so we can maintain the same here, list up to all the vendors. Okay, so let's maintain one more vendor here. Okay, let's take 5. We have created 5. 3 also we have created. Okay, so let's take copy. I'm not maintaining anything. He's my list of the vendor, but I'm not maintaining. I'm not a fixed vendor. He's not my fixed vendor, or he's not blocking. So he's a alternative vendor. Okay, we just maintaining my vendor. He is also supplying the same product. Okay, now save. Okay, now we maintain the source list. Okay, so what is the table to see this all list of the vendors? Okay, we can see in the EORD table. So EORD table, if you go to EORD table, okay, The database level, in database level, we can see that list up to all the sources which is maintained for this vendor. Okay, so what the material number is 2 and plant is 1100. Okay, and execute. Okay, so just to we maintain, right? Okay, to material to plant 1100. Who is the vendor? 1000 is my fixed vendor, and 2 we blocked for this vendor, right? And 3 he is my vendor. Okay, alternate vendor. We can maintain. We are maintained like this, right? So and we also maintain for valid from valid to who created, when it is created. Okay, all this information it is stored in the ORD table. Clear? Any doubts on source list? Did you any confusion on that source list? Why we are maintaining this source list?
No.
Okay. Okay. Now, so as of now, we prepared, we created the metal master record, we created the vendor master record, we have created a purchasing info record, we have created the source list. So these are the basic master data from the MM point of view. Okay. If we have this process, if we have these are the master records, we can go ahead with the creation of the purchase requisition, purchase orders. Okay. So I just want to show you that in the metal info record, okay, in ME11, I we yesterday I informed, right? We can create with material number without material also, right? There is two types of info records we can create. In case if I don't have any material number, okay, how the system will create purchase info record? Let's see that first, okay. I'm just not entering any material number. Okay, I'm not entering any material number. So in case if I didn't mention that any material number, okay, then how the system will take the details from the for related to material information. Okay, if there is no material number, right? So it will what are the important mandatory fields here? So it will ask that what is the material description. Okay, so let's say service material. Okay, it's not a material, it is service. Okay, product, service product, like something we can say service or services product. Okay, we can put it like service. Okay, might be what we can say software installation, like we can mention here. And I'm just mentioning that material group, which is like if any material group which is created services, we can use the same material group here. Okay, so let's say any services we have. Okay, so ENP services are Fury services are cleaning service or building service, floor service, window service. Like we have so many services are there. Okay, we can take any of the one. Okay, so we'll take any of them we can take. Okay, and short term. Okay, for searching that this info record, how we can search? So service. Okay, now then what are the important information which is required? Okay, how long it will be take? Okay, 1 day. Okay, and who will be purchasing group? Okay, 000. Okay, and enter that the conditions here. What is the purpose of conditions here? What is the purpose? We are maintaining the prices for these services.
Okay. Local charges discount.
Yeah. So if the service for the installation or how much they're charging and everything will maintain in the conditions. So here this case is what why we are creating info record here? We are creating info record without material. I don't have any material. For services, I need to create the info record. So I just maintaining like this one. Okay. Without material. If you don't have any material, you can create like this. Okay. So now let's assume that okay, one or $10 they are charging. Okay. So you need to maintain that unit of measure, base unit of measure. Why? Because we are not created any material master record, right? So this base unit of measure, how you are measuring, okay, for each service or for set of the services, how you are charging this $10. So you just need to maintain all this one. Okay. Generally, what we will give in these cases, we can give the activity, one activity, or we can like for each service, or we can whatever it is might be you can enter. Okay. So one activity unit we can maintain like one one activity unit will maintain $10. Okay. So like you can create a info record. So this info record created, okay, without material number. You can see in the which table we can see that table name EI NEA,
Okay.
right? So EI NEA, these are all material. These are all info record tables. Enter the info record number. Here you can see that okay, without material number, the system which is created the info record. Okay. So yesterday we created, right? Yesterday we created in the different level. So we created yesterday with material, right? So let's see created by my I'm just entering my account my user ID. Okay, 1273309. Okay, I just entered my created by my user ID. So I'm just checking that what are the info record we created. Okay. See here, I have created this today and I have created this yesterday. Okay. And might be somebody okay, this is somebody they create this one by using. Okay. You are created might be right. So like we have different number ranges here. Okay. Why? Because without material number, with material number, okay, there is a different number ranges. So how you can see this one, the number ranges and all. Yesterday we had a discussion, right, in the configuration level. Okay. We'll maintain a number ranges. So go to material management, the material management purchasing, you can go to purchasing info record. Purchasing info record. Here we will defining the different number ranges. Okay, so here we maintain that one is for the without text and with text. Okay, so there is a info records with material and non-stock materials and stock materials, and this is the group. This is the group, but how we are dividing IL and IN. Okay, so there is the IL group and IN group. Okay, so based on this IL group and IN group, okay, we'll maintain that for the one it is started with 1 series, 11 series, one it is started with 5 series, right? So the different number ranges also we can maintain here, okay, for non-material and materials. Clear? Clear?
Yes, clear enough.
Okay, so you can see here PIR number range with material code, without material code, like we can define. So and text test. So define text here. Okay. If you want to define the multiple text, okay, let's see. I will show you that how we can create. Okay. In the purchasing info record in ME11, if you go to ME11, let's go to ME13 first. Okay. Unnecessarily we are creating so many info records. ME13. Go to ME13. So there, if you can see that there are so many texts which is available. Okay. So here you can see the text it is there. Okay, this text to information as we discussed last time, the info record memo or purchase order text info. Okay, this is information we are providing to user. Okay, whenever they're creating the purchase order or whenever they're creating the uh, any of the document. Okay, this text will be helpful to them to see that how it is if any terms and conditions or restrictions or any note you want to pass, you can do that, right? So from here only we are passing this one. We are creating here info record note and purchase order text. You can see here info record note, purchase order text. So this will be copying rules. Okay. So whether this information, whether we need to copy to purchase order or not. Okay. That we will be linking here. Okay. Let's say purchase order text is there. This purchase order text which is linked to, okay, purchase order text. Okay. In the purchase order it is linked. So this we will discuss in the purchase order when we are creating purchase order. I will display about that how it will be displayed. So whether user can have text adapted in the target object. That means whatever you entered in the purchase info record, that will be copying to purchase order. Okay, I will display this in the once we create a purchase order. Okay, okay, let's go to that. This is text. Okay, and anyway, you already aware about this screen layout. Okay, ME11 level, whether you need to be the field selection. Field is mandatory or optional or hide. Okay, I think you already aware about this one, right? How to restrict this one, right? I don't think we need again this information. Just go to this one, and if it is required, if it is optional, if it is display. Okay, again basic data, go to a required, optional, display. Like, so which field is optional, which field is mandatory. Okay, so like in the quantity, so if in the quantity, which field is mandatory, which field is optional, and which field is display. Okay, so like you can mention here. Okay, you can maintain here and you can use that for the purchasing info record. Okay, and no, other than that, okay, these are all okay. We can price history for the purchase PO when you change the PO when price is updated, different characters. Okay, that we will discuss. And for source list here it is there. Okay, so source list we have only one, which is a source list requirement at plant level. Okay, this is the why we are maintaining here. Okay, in case for your plant. Okay, for your plan without source list, they don't want to create any purchase order. They want to be strictly restrict that in case the user forgot to create the source list and he is creating the PO, then system should not allow. So here you can mention that, okay, this source list is mandatory. Okay, this source list is mandatory for this plan. That means you should create the source list always for the material, for the all the materials in your plan. Okay. So did you remember that in the material master record also we have the checkbox, source list checkbox? Did you remember? In the material master record also, last time when I discussed with all the fields, in the material master record also we have the source list checkbox is there.
Yes, sir.
The purchasing view.
Yeah,
The purchasing view, I
yeah.
just shown that source list and shown that purchasing group, purchasing value key. There are some fields I have shown. There is a source list checkbox also. It is there. What do you mean by source list checkbox? For this material, the source list is mandatory to maintain. So, in the configuration level, for configuration level, I have mentioned that for this plan, all the materials, the source list is mandatory. In the material master record, particular this material, the source list is mandatory. Okay. So, without creating the source list, we cannot go ahead to create the purchase order. In case if you configured like that. In case if you not configured, okay, uncheck in the configuration level and material master record level, then it is not necessary. Okay, if you without the source list also you can create a purchase order. Okay. So if you want to restrict that to purchase order creation without any source list, then you can put it this option in the configuration level and in the metal master card level. Okay, let's see. The purchasing. Okay. The purchasing tab, I have shown that. Okay, you need to do all the practice, guys. If you're not complete your practice on the same day, then it is again confusing for you, and you will get so many doubts. Okay, and here if you can see this in the purchase, you can see that in the source list, the checkbox is there. This source list checkbox is nothing but like a this for this material source list is mandatory. You have to maintain the source list. Okay. So only source list level, that is the only one configuration. Okay. Now let's create that. Now we have the material master record, we have the vendor master record, we have the purchase info record, we have the source list. Let's create the purchase requisition. Okay. So now I'm creating the purchasing requisition. Okay. Let's say my material. Okay. And plant. Okay. And I need a quantity of 10,000 and store location is 001. Okay. We'll try with requisitioner. Okay. The name is Raju or something. Okay. Now we'll try with two. We create two material, right? Let's see, create with two. Okay. Now let's see here. Okay. The valuation price. Okay. The valuation price is nothing but like this price is coming from the metal master record. Okay. Either moving average price or it is a standard price, whatever you maintain in the metal master record. Okay. This is the price. It's not a vendor price. It is an average price or it is a standard price which is maintained in the metal master card. Why? Because at the time of purchase requisition creation, we don't know who is my best vendor. Even if you know also, we are not informing. This is an internal document which is creating by cost center, or might be my department required, your department required, HR department required, or it is my purpose of stock requirement. Okay, whatever it might be. Okay, so it is an internal document. Here we will not mention the vendor price. This is the to understand what is the current price in the our plant. Those information we are entering. So I'm just averaging. Suppose let's say $10. Okay, but might be it is different when we are creating purchase order. That is vendor. Okay, vendor price. This is the averagely what is the price. We also don't know what is the price from the vendor. When we get the idea about this price when you are creating purchase info record, or might be when you are discussing with the vendor and contracts, scheduling agreements. There we understand that okay, this is the price. Okay, those are the external documents. Those are the documents we are maintaining the prices. But here in the purchase requisition, this is internal price, not external price. Okay, and now let's see here source of supply. Okay, this source of supply is helpful to find that who is my best vendor. If you maintain the properly the source list, info record, all the things, okay, then the system will suggest that okay, when you click on the source of supply, assign source of supply, okay, if you have the multiple vendors, okay, if you already fixed the vendor, then the system will suggest that okay, he is my best vendor, you can choose that. So just click on the assign source of supply, okay, and it will give that to it will show you sometimes list of the vendors, or if you maintain already fixed vendor, then it will give automatically the fixed vendor. I think we maintain this fixed vendor and info record. Let's see in the table level what we maintain in the table level for this info record. So the first how it is checking whether you fixed this vendor or not. Where you validated this material. Okay, let's go to my material number. Okay, and execute this one. We have multiple vendors, but the system is okay. This is the 1000. 1000 is my fixed vendor. Okay, so it is only one vendor. One vendor we maintain here. Let's go to ME01. It's the 1000, right? Okay. What is the material number? 2. Okay. So if you see that here 1000 is my fixed vendor. Okay. For this 2 material. So from here it is taking automatically the fixed vendor, and if you already maintain info record with this combination, the system will give automatically this combination. Let's see whether we created the info record or not with this combination. Yes, so it is already giving this info record number, right? So we can give the info record number here and enter. So this is info record number. Okay, clear? So this is the purpose. If there is agreement, either agreement will get. Okay, if there is if there is no fixed vendor, then what it will be happening? It will display all the list of the vendors. It will display all the vendors. Okay, then you can choose that who is the my vendor. So manually selection also it is possible. Okay, and this is for the source of supply. This is the source of supply. What is the purpose of info record creation? What is the purpose of the source list creation? The system automatically proposing that who is the my vendor when you creating the purchase requisition. Okay, and you can see that purchase requisitions vendor. Okay, all the information you can see here. Okay, and if there is any especially for the department. Okay, a cost center. If you want to go for the cost center, you can create a cost center also. This account assessment category is for the consumption purpose. When you want to go for direct consumption or particularly department purpose, if you want to buy, you can select the account assessment category here. Okay, and if there is a third party process, subcontracting, stock transport order, then there is a process like we have to select the item category. That is a different process again. Okay, now anything else? The delivery address it is there here. The plant address which is you maintain, which plant, and the plant which you maintain is W100, right? the address details which is showing here. Okay, and the contact person also you can mention here. Okay, who created, myself created, and you are created manually. So sometimes it is created automatically, right? In those cases you can see that, okay, from production order it is created, or from plan order it is converted, or from sales and distribution it is created. So like we can see that how it is created. So now I created manually, right? So that's why it is displaying manually. And who is the requisitioner? Who is asking to create this purchase requisition? Okay, and purchase group, MRP. If you have them planning, you can enter that. If you have any tracking number, you can track that. Okay. Anything else, guys? Anything? Do you understand purchase requisition how to create?
Vendor details mandatory కాదు కదా, creation of PIR.
Can you speak loudly?
When during creation of purchase requisition, vendor is not mandatory.
Not mandatory. No, I'm just showing here. Okay, here also you can find it. Okay, here also you can find it, the vendor. If you have the proper source list, if you have the proper info record, okay, then you can find from here only. Okay. So we can recommend that. Okay, why it is helping that here? If you have the fixed vendor info record, what it will be happen if you want to create the automatic PO? Some companies, how it will be happen, the purchase requisition, purchase orders, it will be created automatically. Okay, so those cases, this source list and fixed vendor will be helpful. Okay, you don't need to go and create manually the purchase order. Okay, so those cases it is mandatory. Okay, but manually creation, manually PO creation, it is not necessary. I just explaining that why we are maintaining source list, why we are maintaining fixed vendor. If you maintain the fixed vendor, then system automatically pick this vendor and will suggest this vendor in the PO. Okay. Now let's see for this vendor. Okay, automatic PO. Let's see, automatic PO is there or not there. If it is there, then we'll see whether it works or not work. So this is purchase requisition number. Okay, just go to ME 13. Sorry, MM03. Let's go to first material master record. Go to MM03 for this material. Okay, for this purchasing and 1100. Okay, in the 1100 plant. Okay, whether the automatic PO is not checked. Let's check this one first. So I'm just selecting this automatic PO. Okay, now automatic PO is selected, and there is a one more checkbox in the vendor master record. Let's see in the vendor master record, automatic PO is created or not for this vendor, 1000 vendor. Okay, so in the purchasing data, okay, automatic purchase order checkbox is there. Okay, now we'll try to create the automatic PO. So let's see whether it will be works or not. Okay, ME59N. Okay, the system automatically generates the PO. You don't need to create the manually PO. Okay, the system automatically create the PO if all the records which is maintained properly. Okay, it will check some proper records, whether you maintain the source list correctly or not, whether you maintain the purchase info record or not, whether you maintain the prices or not, whether you maintain this checkbox in the metal master record, when the master record or not. Those everything it will be checked, and if it is everything it is maintained, then the system will create automatically PO in the background. We don't need to create a manually. So let's see whether it will be works or not. ME59N. Okay, ME59N is for ME59N is for automatic pivot generation from PIR. Okay. So now let's see. So first time we are using, right? It might be take the time. This transaction code. Let's will wait for some time. Okay. So now automatic creation of purchase order from requisition. Okay. Now you can select the options like, okay, you have 10 purchase requisitions. You want to create a purchase order. How you want to create a purchase order? By each company code level, or each contract level, each requisition level, or each delivery date level, each purchasing group level. How you want to create? Like if I have 10 purchase requisition, maybe 10 purchase requisition have multiple delivery dates, might be 2 or 3 it is same delivery date, then I can select the same delivery date, or purchase group it is same, or something like. Okay, let's will do here first. We'll go with our options. Okay, I have the requisition number, right? I will enter directly the requisition number here. Okay, this is the requisition number, right? Is that my requisition number? No. This is my requisition number. Sorry. Okay, this is my requisition number. This is info record number, I think. Yeah. So this is the info record number. Yeah, this is info record. So I'm entering that my requisition number. Okay, it is not mandatory to enter requisition number, but I'm just entering here. Okay, I'm just executing that. I just want to show you. Everything, if it is everything looks good, then the system will automatically create a purchase order. If it is not created, then it will give that, okay, you didn't maintain the info record, you didn't maintain fixed vendor, you didn't maintain the price, you didn't maintain the proper purchase organization. Okay, there's something, it will give that error message. Okay, let's see whether it will be created or not. So at a time, if you have the 1,000 purchase requisitions, you can create 1,000 purchase requisitions at a time for purchase orders in the background. So it won't be take much time, 5 to 10 minutes. It will create all the purchase orders. It won't be take 5 minutes also. Just like that, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, just like whatever the purchase requisition you have. Okay. So what are the mandatory? There should be a proper material master record, proper vendor master record, and you should be have the proper info record. So you maintain a source list and you have maintained the fixed vendor, and that in the requisition level you maintain the source of supply. Those uh, those are mandatory here. Okay. See now the purchase order which is created successfully. If everything is good, then the system which is created purchase requisition successfully. Now this is the purchase order number, if you can see here. I didn't create manually this one. The system automatically create a purchase order. There are so many sections open. Let's go to this. Okay, I will go to one more screen. ME23N. Purchase order display. ME23N. So this is the purchase order number which is created by system. I am not created. Okay, but with my details. If you see that material 2, okay, how many pieces? 10 pieces. Okay, this net price which is getting from the info record. Okay, and plant, store location, and requisition. If you see that requisition we maintain in the info record, and this is the info record. Okay, all the details, whatever the details which is maintained in info record, source list, okay, and purchase request, all it will take automatically. If you see that 1500 is the gross price and 10% is freight charges, which we maintain in the info record. That's why it is displaying like. In info record, we maintain this price, okay, and 1500 is the price, basic price, and 10% is the freight charges. So those it is captured. So this is the, because of this reason only, it is mandatory to maintain the info record for the automatic PO. Okay. So if you have proper all the data information, then the system automatically create a purchase order. Okay. And how this delivery date is calculated? Again, this delivery date calculated because of you maintain the planned delivery time. So from the from today date to how long it will be take for supplying these goods. Okay, planned delivery time 10 days. Okay, so actually 11th you are creating today. Okay, 12th, right? So requisition releasing date and the planned delivery time is 10. So it is creating and it is selecting that the delivery date is 22nd for this vendor. And you can see here the contact person. Okay, this information requisition is updated. And the status, if you can see that, okay, for this purchase requisition, we created already purchase order. So you can see in the PIR also whether this PIR already created PO or not. By looking into status, you can see, okay, this purchase order is already created. The process code is, process status is PO created. If you create a RFQ, then it is updated like RFQ created. If you create a contract, okay, contract is created, scheduling agreement is created, service entity is created. So all like the process status will be updated. Clear? Did you understand how to create the automatic PO creation?
అలా ఒకసారి వీళ్ళు స్టెప్స్ లాగా రాయవా అన్నది యాక్చువల్లో సారీ మన వర్డ్లో అంటే ఆటోమేటిక్ చేయడానికి ఏం క్రియేట్ చేయాలి
వాయిస్ అర్థం కావట్లేదు మీరు చెప్పు
స్టెప్స్ అన్న అంటే వర్డ్లో ఒకసారి అంటే
no, there is no proper steps here. In the vendor master record, you have to select the automatic source, automatic purchase order. That is one checkbox. Metal master record, you should select the automatic purchase order. That is the second. And you need to maintain the proper vendor master record, proper metal master record for creation of purchase order, whatever it is required. Then info record is mandatory. The price you need to maintain, tax code you need to maintain, all this information you need to maintain in info record. Then source list mandatory. The source list you have to put the fixed vendor. And when you creating the automatic, when you creating purchase equation, you just look into that. Okay, the source of supply. Okay, whether it is capturing or not. The source of supply, whether the fixed vendor it is capturing or not. Those you need to check. Right?
Okay.
So if we map this all, if you have the 1000 purchase equation, you can create the automatic purchase order in the background. So generally in the real time I'm talking about real time. Okay, they will not go manually in the ME59N. Okay, what they will do, they will generate automatically POs in the background. So they will create the executing in the background. That means every 1 hour, every 1 day, the system will automatically running this program in the background and the system will automatically create the POs. So mostly they will use in the jobs that we call as jobs. We are creating some jobs. By using those jobs, we are the system automatically running the job in the background by executing this program and it will create the POs. So we'll talk these jobs in the ending of the ending of the sections. Okay, clear? Did you anyone knows about the jobs? Have you worked on the jobs?
Have you completely different than another. నాది క్యాలిబర్ ఉందా నాది అంటే మోటిగేజ్ నాది.
Sorry. Sorry, can you repeat?
నాది మోటిగేజ్ అన్న మోటిగేజ్ అనేది ఇది
Okay.
కొంచెం
No,
డిఫరెంట్
no.
ఉంది.
I'm talking about the jobs is different. Okay.
ఓకే
So jobs is nothing but like we will create the jobs in the background. Okay, this is a job. Okay, what it will be happen? Will fix the time. Okay, today night 1 o'clock. So the system what it will be happen? It will be create the program. Okay, it will generate the program. Whatever the program ME59, it will run in the background. Okay, whatever the POs which is whatever the purchase requisition which is created today. Okay, all the purchase requisition it will be take like 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000, 10,000 purchase requisition. It will take all the purchase requisition and it will convert the POs. Okay, the system automatically converted. So for this automatic background, okay, we don't need to go manually ME59N and the system automatically run in the background. Every day, every 1 hour or every day, we will fix the time. Okay, this is the real time. Okay, we'll discuss this at the end of the section how it will work the background job. Clear? So just note down somewhere background job. Okay, I will explain this background job in the separate section how it will works. That is the real time. Okay, clear? Okay, so it's not a topic of the metal management. It is a real time. So real time is different and metal management concepts are different. Okay, so both it will be included in the real time. Metal management and real time scenarios will be different again. Okay, clear? Clear? Any doubts? Any doubts?
Yeah.
Okay. Now see here. Now this is the process for the creation of PIR. And if you want to create a PO manually, you can create a PO by entering into ME21 and you can create, or the system will generate automatically PO. So this is the known vendor. Vendor is nothing but like I already know the vendor. That's why I created PIR and I created the PO. But if I don't know, okay, if we don't have any vendor, we don't have any vendor, how it will be works? So I got the requirement like 1,000 pieces from my. I need 1,000 pieces of stock for this one product. Okay, I don't know who is the vendor. Let's say I don't know vendor. So how you will go for this case? The above case is if I have vendor, if I have the vendor, I create a PR. So I have the PR, then I convert it to PO. Then I will do the GR. Okay. Let's do one thing. We'll complete GR for this as well. Anyway, we have the PO number, right? We'll create this GR for this first. This is a purchase order which is created in the background, right? So what were the further what we need to do for this PO? Okay, so this is the PO which is created, right? So now this information we need to send to vendor. Okay, so if you maintain properly the messages and everything, and the output determination, okay, that was a separate topic, output determination, then it will give that, okay, you can take the printout. Okay, so now you need to generate this purchase order output. Okay, so let's see here, go to /o me9f. me9f. Now in ME23N, we have the PO number, right? So how we can generate the output here? Okay, I think you already aware about this output generation. I think you already creating purchase orders, right? But I will explain about that how we will create. Okay, so in PO, this is the PO number, right? So if everything, if the messages, everything it is maintained properly, okay, okay, you can go to ME9F. Okay, ME9F is for the output generation. Okay, here you need to enter the PO and application. Application is nothing but like a purchase order. Okay, whether it is purchase order, purchase requisition, RFQ, okay, entry set, PO outline like this one. Okay, I'm selecting EF, right? EF with the purchase order. Okay, now executing this one. Okay, okay, no suitable purchase requisitions are selected. Then what is the options we can see now? Why it is not happening? Okay, go to chain and messages. In the messages they maintain this one. Okay, it is still not generated. If you see that in the yellow color, that means still it is not generated. Okay, if it is red color, then it is stopped. So some problem is there. It is not, output is not generated. If it is green color, then it is processed successfully. Now I just click on the further data here. I'm just checking that whether they maintain properly all the data information or not. So this is the concept for the output determination. This is again, okay, this is correct. They maintain correctly. Okay, thoughts and communication methods. Okay, here also we maintain. Okay. So what it is happening then? Why it is not coming here? Let's see. Vendor 1000. And in the purchase order also you can see this print preview also. Okay, here if you click on a print preview, okay, if the smart form it will display that output. Okay, what is the output here? See here, I can see here the purchase order number, date, and who is the contact person, who is the telephone number, who is the company, okay, who is the vendor number, and again vendor address and delivery address. Okay, please deliver to this address, delivery date, and what is the material number, how much pieces you ordered, okay, how much the price, okay, when you are supplying goods to this plant, please use this mode of transportation. Did you see this one? When we maintain this, we maintain in the info record. This is information, right? In the purchase order info record, we can see this one, right? And let's see in the text. So the copy rules, how it will be works. Okay, it is copying to here when we maintain here. Info record, your text we maintain. When you are supplying goods to the, did you remember this one we maintained in the last time? Have you remember? In the info record we maintain this one. Let's see, in info record we maintain this text for the PO text, PO order text. See here, I have maintained this one. So this text we maintain in info record. That info record which is copying to here, and that information we informing into the print preview. In the print preview, it is displaying like okay, in the text it is displaying. We are just giving instruction to the vendor. Okay, when you are supplying goods to this plant, please use the mode of the transport is C. So why? Because it is very nearest to the sea. That's why we advise to that. Okay, don't use any road transport. Don't use anything. You just use the sea transport, right? So this is the output we can see here. Okay, and we can see ME9F also. I'm not sure why it is not updating this. Might be we need to check completely the output determination. Then only we can say whether it is working or not. Whether why it is happening. And here you can see processing status. If it is already generated, okay, then you can use it is successful processed. But if it is still not processed, right? So then you can use 0. Okay. If you want to repeat also, you can repeat it. Okay. Let's see here. I can give that message type also any u. Okay. And let's see if I can see or not. No, nothing happened. I don't know why it is not working. Okay, we need to check that entire. We need to check that entire PO. Why it is not working? I don't know. Okay, let's see existing POs, whatever it is there. Okay. Sometimes this will not be properly work. Okay, might be because of the properly not maintained output determination condition records. Okay, if it is not maintained properly, it is not displayed. So let's see. And now I just entered the application and message type. Let's see whether we can see that purchase orders list. My doubt is okay. Why it is not displaying it? The messages is good. I think it's maintained properly and the communication method also maintained properly. This is a name they maintained. I might be we don't know why it is they maintain this one. Okay, suffix they maintain. Might be the configuration level they maintain this one. So how in the real time? This is the printer name. Okay, this is the printer name. Okay, and output generation. In the second is processing log. Okay, if it is there is any successful cases, then the process log will be updated. If there is IDOC, the IDOC will be updated. And here, if you can see that there is option like send immediately. Send immediately is nothing but like when you created PO, okay, immediately it will be sending. It will be automatically creating the output. It will generate automatically PO the output. And send with application own transaction is nothing but like a whatever we are doing ME9F, that is the option. And this is for the jobs. These two for the jobs. You can schedule jobs. But here I can see, okay, here you can see that POs, right? Purchase orders. There are so many purchase orders. Why it is locked? Okay, I not understand why it is locked. There might be some problem in the it is locking. Because of that only it is okay. Okay. Let's see. It is not released. Let's see. There is a release strategy there. It is released. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Here we have the release strategy. Okay, approval. So you need to approve this one. Then only it will be displayed. That's why it's not displaying. So the release strategy is nothing but like once you create a purchase order, okay, it is going for the approval. It will not go to directly to vendor. Okay, first it will go to supervisor approval. Okay, whoever the maintenance supervisor approval. Okay, once he approved, then only you can do you can release the output. Okay, that is the truth. So let's see. Now I can go to ME29.
29.
ME29N, okay, or we can do in ME28 also. Two transactions are there. Okay, here I'm just releasing this PO and I'm saving this one. Okay, so now I release this PO. Okay, now I save this one. Now we'll try to generate output. Now go back and we'll try again. Now for this one. Now it is displaying. Okay, I didn't see this one. Why? Because the release strategy, if you configure the release strategy, then only it will display. Okay, but this is the practice server, right? Somebody they already created the release strategy. Okay, so now I'm selecting this one and display messages. If you can go with the display message details, and you can generate output. Then the system will generate the spoles. Okay, so now this is the generated. Okay, the checkbox it is generated, right? That means the PO output is generated. Now you can see this in the spool request. SP01 is the spool request, which is so that means this purchase output is generated to spools. Okay, so here in the from the spools it will be go to output. Okay, so this is the procedure. Okay, we don't need to see again here in the SP01. This is the output which is generating spool request automatically. Okay, this is the output. You can see here where in the purchase order display we already seen, right, the same thing which is displaying here. So it is going from here to output. Here it is going to directly to output. That means nearest your printer, whatever it is nearest printer is there, it will be work directly. So it will generate automatically. The output is generating to nearest to printer. Okay, the output request created and it is generated. So this is the way we can see. Okay, this is not required as spool request. In case if you didn't get the output in the printing in your printer, then you can see in the SP01 whether the spools are generated or not. Okay. So this is the way output determination also will be working. So any doubts still here? Any doubts?
ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తే అప్పుడు వస్తాయన్న చూద్దాం.
So okay, so each and every level there was one configuration and each and every level one setup is there. Like say this output generation, it is not easy. Again you need to create the output determination for this. So there was a configuration like NACE. Okay, in the NACE you need to be configure what is the output type, what is the output type and what is the selection on. Okay, I will show you that one time. Okay. Okay, here we need to configure the output determination here. Okay, here you need to maintain your output types. What are the output types we have? Okay, what is your output type? NEU. Okay, for this NEU, what is the program which is generating? Is that standard program or it is customer program? If you need to maintain the customer program, again you can maintain customer program here. Okay, so here this is the output and this output you are maintaining that program name. So this is the link for the output determination. Okay, here there is options like fax and external send, EDI, printout, simple distribution like that. So here this is the program name. This is the smart form. By using this smart form, the system is generating. Okay, this is the setup for this output determination. Okay, so this will discuss about the output determination. That is a separate topic. Okay, so as of now, this is the PO output, and again the release strategy also. We need to define the release strategy for the approvals. It is not mandatory, but as per your client requirement, whether they want to go with the release strategy approval levels, then you can define the different levels. So it is only supervisor level? No, we can create multiple also. Supervisor, manager, product manager, store manager, finance manager, depot manager, like we can create multiple. Okay. Now you can see in the material management configuration level, in the material management purchasing, there is a concept like release procedure. Okay, we need to configure that, then only it will be work. That is again, that was one more topic. This is okay. Okay, you can see in the purchase orders, again go to purchase orders. In the purchase orders, if you want to configure for the release strategy, you can configure that. Here you can define the release procedure for purchase order. Okay, here you can define that how many levels you want to create. Okay, how many levels you can create, like supervisor, manager, store manager, finance manager, like you can create team leader, supervisor, director, like you can define here. And particularly there is a strategies you will define. Okay, when like strategy is nothing but like a up to 10 lakhs, up to 20 lakhs, up to 30 lakhs for PO. How many approvals we required? Okay, if it is a purchase order, the value is 10,000 rupees. Okay, it is one approval is supervisor approval is required, then it's fine. If it is more than 10,000, more than 1 lakh, more than 2 lakhs, more than 3 lakhs, how the approval structure will be required? How many approvals we required? So all this we will define in the release strategy level. So here you can see that which strategy it is 0404. So let's see 0404. This is the 0404 and go to inside. Okay, in this 0404 the supervisor is configured. Here they mention supervisor. Supervisor only one supervisor is fine. So I don't want to any more than the supervisor. If you want to any other approvals, then you can maintain here. So maximum 8 approvals we can configure. Okay. Any doubts till here? Okay. If there is no